Hey guys, welcome back to the 3-Minute Warning. This is a Panther Nation podcast that's just two guys talking about sports. Today, the two guys are just me, Jackson.
And Aaron.
Aaron, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I watched it. It was my first time watching an NFL game, and I think it was pretty entertaining. I had no idea what was going on because I watched the Turkish commentary, and they were mainly talking about Travis and Taylor.
Oh, Travis and Taylor. I guess it's only appropriate that we talk about the NFL first, considering today is Valentine's Day, and the only relevant sports couple as of right now is Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. One kind of interesting thing that I saw just asking around is that most people didn't know how the overtime rules worked in the Super Bowl, including the 49ers head coach apparently. Just to set the record straight, what would have happened was if the clock had run out, a new quarter would have started because both teams are allowed one full drive in overtime. Also, even I think more interestingly, is that the game winner that the Chiefs threw is the exact same play that they scored 2 touchdowns with against the Eagles in last year's Super Bowl. So I don't understand how the 49ers haven't game planned against that specific play, considering it worked so well in the Super Bowl last year. Also, interestingly, we had 2 longest Super Bowl field goal records. The first one was from 55 yards, and then it was subsequently broken, and it now sits at 57 yards. While compared to the 66-yard NFL record, it's not incredibly long. It still is very impressive that they were able to kick this many super long field goals in the Super Bowl. Next up, we're talking about the halftime show, which was Usher, Alicia Keys, Lil Jon, and Ludacris. I feel like it was pretty popular amongst most people. Most people thought it was pretty good. It was better than last year's for sure, albeit with some questionable actions from Usher. If you know, you know.
Yeah. And the older fans said the Usher's Yeah performance took them back to 2004. So yeah. I'd say it's a pretty good performance from Usher.
Definitely a success. Halfway through the Super Bowl, what I thought was interesting is that although there was a touchdown pass that had been thrown, it wasn't by either Patrick Mahomes or Brock Purdy. It was instead by 49ers wide receiver Jauan Jennings, who became the second person ever to both throw and receive a touchdown in the Super Bowl. Next, I think we're going to move on to another American sport, the NBA, and talk about the trade deadline. Take it away, Aaron.
So, the Bulls did not make any significant changes at the trade deadline. Gordon Hayward surprisingly went to OKC, which nobody would have expected. Buddy Hield went to the 76ers, which is also a trade nobody would have expected because Buddy Hield was a solid player at the Pacers. And honestly, this was a trade that shocked me. The 76ers also signed Kyle Lowry after a contract buyout with the Charlotte Hornets. And from the Hornets again, PJ Washington went to Dallas, which is also a surprising move. So I'm guessing Charlotte Hornets, they're in a rebuilding era. That's what they should do because they haven't been great in the last couple of years. And then up next, we have football, or as some of you would like to call it, soccer.
Guilty.
So we had the Asian Cup final, which was Jordan against Qatar. And Qatar won it 3-1, and they took 3 penalties and scored them all. The player got a hat trick in a final with penalties, which is kind of crazy. So I think we should check the ref's bank account on this one because this is not normal.
Yeah, they're getting paid off for sure.
Next up, we have the AFCON final. It was Ivory Coast against Nigeria. Ivory Coast won 2-1 against Nigeria. Sebastian Haller scored the winning goal for Ivory Coast. And he has had a pretty impressive recovery as he was battling with cancer last year. And he has had a pretty good season with both Dortmund and the Ivory Coast, winning them the AFCON. The UCL round of 16 has started with 2 big teams against 2 smaller teams. 2 pretty entertaining fixtures, I would say. Real Madrid won 1-0 against RB Leipzig. There was a controversial offside call for RB Leipzig where there was no offsides, some people claimed, but they still called offside on RB Leipzig players, which Real Madrid still haven't beaten the Vardrid allegations. City versus Copenhagen, it's 3-1 to City. I mean, nobody's shocked. Me, I would have guessed it was going to be something like 5-0, but I'm guessing they played decent against City and got home with a 3-1 scoreline. In the Premier League this last weekend, we have Arsenal beating West Ham United 6-0.
Damn.
which is a shocking result
Wow.
because you don't see those often.
Those scorelines are pretty rare.
Yeah, and the two center backs of Arsenal scored against West Ham, and center backs are meant to defend and not score. Yeah.
I guess they turned around the game script on that one.
Yeah.
All right, so I think that's going to be it from the 3-Minute Warning podcast this week, and we hope that you guys listen again next week. Peace.